Okay, so this is the window regulator from the front door, BMW M397, and it broke. The roller that wasn't here, sliding back and forth, broke off. So my plan here is to replace this roller. I purchased this sliding door rollers at the hardware store, and I'm planning to use this roller and install it here. In order to do that, I had to remove this rivet that wasn't here, just to remove this panel with the channels for the roller, and I'm going to be using this screw in this kind of fashion to reattach it. So now I took this roller and I took the grinder and I just cut this metal piece to separate that roller away from the bracket. Now the roller is a little bit thick, so I shaved it down with the grinder again to fit into this slider. So to test it, if it's thin enough, you put it in and you just slide it around. It should move around freely but not be too loose. Now I'm planning to remove this pin, which is a rivet similar to this one here, and drill a hole that is of the same diameter as this pin. Put this pin in that bracket and hammer it down just like a rivet to keep it in place. To remove the old rivet, this one here, I'm gonna use a grinder again, and I'm just gonna grind this off until that pin comes out. And as you can see, I have prepared this before. It cracked, the metal cracked on here, and I put a little piece of metal here and put some rivets in there to strengthen it so the fracture doesn't go further. And to reinstall this whole thing, I'm going to using bolts. Originally it was riveted to the door, but I'm going to use short bolts with the self-locking nuts and reinstall it back on the door. So the next step would be to remove this pin and drill the hole of this diameter of the new pin, and place this pin in this plate and hammer it down so it's stable. Okay, so now I remove this old post from here and I enlarge the hole with a drill. It's a 932 inch drill, 9/32. What's cool is that the old post has exactly the same offset as the new post. As you can see here, they're identical. So now this post fits into this hole. I'm gonna put a washer first. It's a spring washer, and then put the new post in here, slide it into the hole. It's a new roller, and then I'm gonna find something to fit in here, something metal, something heavy duty metal, and not this pin but something similar, or maybe even this pin. I'm going to put it like this on a hard surface, and I'm going to hammer this other side of the post so it gets riveted into this hole. That way the roller is going to stay in place. The important thing is that this pin in the center doesn't get dislodged like that while you're hammering, otherwise you can crack the new roller. That's important to remember. So that's the next step.